Methodist Church. Miss Caroline called me the other day and asked if we would like to have John come and do invocation tonight. I told her certainly, and I asked her if she was going to come, and she said yes. So, you know, how can you refuse? So, John, if you'll come up to the mic.
Thank you, Mayor.
And then we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance after your invocation.
Thank you, Mayor. Would you bow your heads with me, please? Father, we just thank you for this opportunity to be here tonight. What a privilege to come and to meet with folks and to discuss the business of this community and this fine city here in West Fork. My prayer tonight is that you would guide each person. And Lord, specifically, we want to remember tonight that you would be with Mayor Rossetti and all the staff members, all the council members, everyone that has an interest here tonight, that you would guide them in the business that they have to do. And Lord, we're reminded about some of those things. We know that they need wisdom to govern amid the conflicting interests and issues of our times. And I pray, Lord, that you would help them as they have a sense of the welfare and true needs of our people. That you would help them with a keen thirst for justice and righteousness and confidence in what is doing good and fitting. And more than anything, Father, I pray for harmony upon this council, that they can do the good work that they need to do. You will bless each one, bless their homes, bless the business on this agenda today, that all will be handled accordingly. And we thank you once again for life and for health and for freedom and for all the many ways you've blessed us. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will convene our meeting at 6:40. Roll call. Don Rollins. Here. John Collins. Here. Misty Cottle.
Here.
Bill Sargent. Anita Lowry.
Here.
Jeff Upton.
Here.
Mike Nelson. Kira Hungate. City Attorney Tom Kiklak. Our City Clerk Marcia Hungate. And myself, Charlie Rossetti.
Who wants to do the math?
There's a quorum.
How so? What do you see?
I see 6, and the mayor can vote in case of a tie.
Yeah. So you've got 5 council members and a mayor. But in Arkansas, the mayor can also be the quorum.
Oh.
So you see 5 council and the mayor, but that's why you have a quorum. Still takes 5 votes to pass. It takes 6 votes to pass any emergency clause.
Well, here comes
So the
Bill.
mayor has to be that person.
Bill's coming.
There's Bill. Never mind.
Come in, Mr. Bill.
So Marcia, I just say I'd just like to have a quorum. Excuse me. The council.
Yes. Thank you. That's why you're the attorney, and I'm not.
That's why you are what you are.
Bill Sargent.
Yes, whatever.
Here. All right. All right. The adoption of agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda that the council has? And for one evening, I don't have any changes. So
Other than I'm going to get the West Coast report, that's the only thing.
okay, that will just be a report, so we're good there. All right, do I have a motion to approve?
I make the motion to approve the agenda.
And a second?
Second.
Jeff? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed by like sign. Right, the approval of last month's regular council minutes, June 9th, 2015. Is there any corrections to that, council? Approval motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Second. Second by Bill. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed by like sign. All right, we have a public forum, 2 minutes per speaker. All remarks are addressed to the city council. The council and the mayor may ask questions of the speaker or respond to questions or comments. No official action will be taken tonight. So I know we have one person who would like to address the council for sure.
Yes,
Ms.
Your
Caroline?
Honor, I do. I always have to speak because I thought I was supposed to. First of all, I'd like to thank all the members of the council, because I haven't been here in a long time, for doing a good job. I keep up with y'all whether you know it or not. It's kind of like grandma looking over your shoulder. But I'm really a great grandma. But we won't tell anybody. We won't talk about age because I have to watch the time. I want to thank our police chief, which I have met briefly, but I want to encourage him because I was brought up in Little Rock, and I was brought up, policemen were your friends. And I call them the do-right boys and the do-right girls because they take their training, they put on their vest, they put on their guns, and they go out. It's their job to see that people do right. And when you misbehave, like you speed, or you're driving with expired tags, or you don't have any insurance, you know, it's their job to give you a ticket. So I'm glad we have a new chief. He's from Colorado, and I have an aunt lives in the same city that he left, but she lives in a good district, not where he was a policeman. So he told me. Aunt Barbara doesn't know about things like that, and that's good. Also, I want to tell you and see if any of you all know anybody that served in Vietnam. I'm a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution, and we have partnered with the VA by act of Congress to try to locate all Vietnam veterans, or either the widows or anybody that could come or receive recognition for a POW or a MIA, because if you remember, the Vietnam veterans, when they came home, they weren't exactly treated very nice. So now Congress, after 50 years, has decided to make amends, or try to. And that's why the VA and the Daughters of the American Revolution are getting together, and we're trying to locate them. And in August, we will have a recognition ceremony at the VA hospital, and we want to give them a certificate of appreciation for defending us many years ago. Also, I want to ask the council to please consider a library, a new library. John Riley is our librarian, and he's doing a good job. But we need a new building, and if you'll compare to Lincoln, Prairie Grove, Elkins, any other small town, we are back in the dark ages. We own the land down there. That building that's there could go, build a new building, and use what's there now as a parking lot. So please consider it when you're adding the 1.5 cent sales tax, which we badly need to do other things. But please consider the library. Thank you very much. I think our 2 minutes are up, but I appreciate this time. God bless you all.
Thank you, Ms. Caroline. Would anybody else like to address the council? All right, business reports. John, you have something for us from the library?
Just a couple of things. Just to let you know, we're having a very busy summer at the library. We're having a lot of families with children using the library. It's been very brisk, very steady all summer. We're happy about that. We have made a new hire for Maria Pendergraft's position. She was with us for 7 years, and she sold her house in Prairie Grove to move to be closer to her daughter in Little Rock. So the person we hired is Debbie Riker. She was willing to leave a very good position at the VA to because she wanted to work at the West Park Library. We feel like we definitely got the best candidate. We had some good applications. We interviewed 5 people, and 4/5 of the board were there present for the interviews, and there was as well as Maria, and there was a real consensus that Debbie was the best candidate. So we feel very good about her and about what she's going to bring to the library. We're wrapping up our children's program next Monday at 1 o'clock at Library Hall. It's been a little up and down, but overall, I think really good participation. I think everyone who has been attending has really gotten a lot out of it. I think both the parents and the grandparents, as well as the kids, are really happy with it. And this upcoming Monday, the last one, we're going to do a few extra things to sort of commemorate the end of the summer program. We'll have ice cream, we'll have a book, we'll give away books, and probably a few other things that the friends are going to plan. So please spread the word about Monday at 1 o'clock for kids, basically ages 3 to about age 9 or 10, I think, to be about the age range for those programs. And then I just would like to say one, feel like I need to bring up one issue, which is our staffing levels at the library. I feel that we're at a skeletal staffing level at this time. We have lost Maria. We replaced her, but John Bachman is now no longer on the payroll, and we have right now our immediate challenge is getting Saturdays covered. So I'm full time. I can't work on Saturdays, and we don't have, Debbie is not ready to be on her own there. So anyway, there's some, basically it seems like we're one sick person or one vacation away from having to close the library for a few days during the week because we won't be able to staff it properly and be able to keep it running. So I don't know what venue you go to present this problem and ask for a little bit of help. An extra part-time person of just 5 or 10 hours would make a real difference. But I fear that we are going to have a situation soon where we won't be able to staff the library during the time when we're supposed to be open, or we'll be asking people to work without compensation, which is obviously not what we want. So, and personally, as the leader, the director of the library, I want to spend more time, on work, applying for grants and planning programs and forming partnerships with other nonprofits in the area. But right now, I'm so focused on day-to-day operations that there's not a lot of sort of longer-range planning and work in general being done. So that's the situation. I want to just bring it to your attention, and it's something that I'm sure I'll be addressing again or bringing up again, just to let you know that I feel that we are at a skeletal level. There's no meat and no fat right now on our staffing. Any questions?
Could you talk about today's event?
Oh, yeah, we had a great, it was, we did a little celebration of the novel To Kill a Mockingbird, because this is the day that Harper Lee's second novel came out. Everyone thought she only wrote one. But it turns out there was a second novel that was lost in the archives somewhere that just recently came to light. So Kay Rossetti did a wonderful job planning the program. We did some readings from the novel at the library. We had about 22 people, I think, show up. Had a very good discussion afterwards, and I think it was magnificent. And then afterwards, everyone went to the hall and watched the film version, which of course is probably as good as the book. Everyone loves both the film and the book, so I think it was a wonderful event. And got great feedback on it. Everyone said they got a lot out of it. It was I think a very community-minded, spirited kind of thing where everyone felt a little bit closer to people across from them.
It was really fun.
Anything else?
Thank you, John.
Pauletta, anything extra on your stuff?
Only that we're in our third day of a computer glitch. And Gene's been here working on it heroically, so hopefully we'll have that resolved soon. Yeah, okay. So,
We've had major computer problems.
just on ours, and just our virtual justice, the court program. The server doesn't like us and won't let us log in, so Gene's trying to make them talk to each other.
Good.
Been interesting.
Planning Commission, from them. Police Department, Chief.
All right, I'll try to wrap this up pretty quickly. If you guys want to turn over to our activity report, we'll start out there. You'll see that we had 228 service calls. We'll kind of go through the list on there. We had 11 after-hour call-outs that all went to our overtime and to our comp time. We had 31 citations issued, 45 arrest warrants, and down the property complaints, we did issue one citation to 669 Centennial for their property. If you guys go on over to the next page, you'll see the monthly report, kind of the breakdown there that's usually always there. And we can go into the June report pretty quick here. Just talks about the first one there, 11 after our call-outs, which resulted in 23 hours of comp time. The two classes that are being offered in September are already out there. I have a lot of interest in it. Washington County Sheriff's Office is interested in it. Already want some spots reserved for those classes. Those flyers are attached with the packet. You can look at those. Our two state police traffic operations we did, those fines have come in, and we see $1,070 in fines paid was paid to the police department from that joint operation with state police. One was a full one, and I think the other one only lasted for about an hour before the rain came in. So, Assistant Fire Chief Mark Myers was sworn in as a part-time 2 officer with us. Starting this fall semester, we're going to get a college intern at the police department, Damon Byram. It'll be his last semester at Arkansas Tech. And once he completes the internship, he will have his degree in emergency management. He said from there he doesn't know what he wants to do, so we'll kind of see if we can steer him into law enforcement. So the next one down there, we're going to be getting rid of some of our 45 ammo. We have a big surplus of especially duty ammo and 45 ammo. And we're going to do a bidding process on that so that we can switch over to the 9mm handgun now from there. And there's several pluses of doing that, and I can discuss those with you later on if you want to talk about it. But just to let you guys know. The last thing, and this just came in, if you remember from our workshop we had the other day, I think James Scanlon mentioned that we were having problems with one of our vehicles on Apollo. The transmission was slipping out. We were having problems with it overheating. Air conditioning went out last week also. So that car's got about 70,000 miles on it now. And what we did was we went ahead and took it into a transmission shop. They couldn't find anything wrong with it. Checked the cables. They said the only thing they would charge us for is $50 for the service, or they can yank it all out and see what happens from there. So we're going to go with the $50 maintenance fee for now. But I am going to have to ask the council for a budget adjustment on my vehicle maintenance. We started out the year with about $3,000 of vehicle maintenance, which is kind of tough having 5 full-time police vehicles. I'm already over that by about $400 or $500. And the large majority of that went to replacing new tires, which with the amount of rain we've had this year, I'm glad I went ahead and did that. We did vehicle inspections today, and one of the Ford Explorers that we were trying to hold out on, we're actually going to need new tires for that here pretty soon. They're getting down pretty low. What I'm going to ask for as far as budget adjustment is an extra $2,000 in vehicle maintenance. And what that is going to cover is the $50 transmission service. The heating and cooling issue was repaired by a cooling fan assembly that had went bad. It would run for a little bit and then it would lock up. So with that assembly costing $230 some odd plus the labor to have that fixed, which fixed both of those problems. And with the new tires, it's going to be close to $2,000 to get us through the rest of it. So.
Christie, that budget adjustment would have to come out of general funds or reserve. The council's aware of that.
And other than that, besides our list of our call-outs and comp time, I believe that is it. Any questions?
Council, would you like, shall we take care of this business, this request at this point, or do we want to move it to business? I didn't have it on new business. I didn't get this information before this went out. So. Let's go ahead and go on with the rest of the reports, and we'll put this in new business when we get down to it. Okay.
I need to talk to you after the meeting.
All right. James, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
All right. James Scanlon is in in-service. I think he's taking a break from doing homework. So, do you want to talk to us about your report?
Certainly. Can you hear me okay, Charlie?
Yes. Everybody?
Okay.
Okay. We're good.
Okay. So with Public Works Department, one of the things that we're focused on is trying to identify the water loss. With the budgeting that Christie helped me with on the cost, it looks like we had a 36.19% loss of water based on the last system total report. That's a loss to the city at our cost of $5,877.50. Potential earning loss of about $6,000. So, and that was based on the 7.3 thousand rate. So certainly opportunity for the city to work on their water loss concern. Some of the incidents the street department's been working on due to the recent rainfall, record rainfall, I believe, street repairs. There's been multiple loads of gravel on some of the residential roads, the gravel roads in the city. About $5,000 cost of materials. Jerry let me know a number of loads that he had to order to keep gravel on hand. And it's about $250 a load. That's what he's saying. Private drive repairs, we discussed that a little bit on the last meeting. I think we encountered a cost of about $850 on private drives. We have been encouraging the residents to take a little bit more responsibility on the maintenance of their drives. One, we replaced the gravel and reworked it for him. It's washed out again. I had a conversation with him before I left town and encouraged him to put some supports to the sides of his drive before we bring more gravel over there. I think he's willing to do that. He understands the cost and burden that's on the city for just putting gravel back into some places. It's not going to be able to sustain. Then we also had, at the time I left town, we had a total of three overflow reports to the ADQ from the sewer plant. So Jerry and the guys been putting in extra hours and hours there, keeping an eye on that, trying to keep control during the rainfall. Some other activities,
pre-signing on Ann Street. We had quite a few citizen complaints about speeding, disregard for children playing in the area, so we did drop the speed limit on Ann Street to coincide with the speed limits on Rivendell to 15 miles per hour, and then we also installed some gated streets on Ann Street. They had signs on Ann Street to help motorists understand how a through way there. Dyke Creek Bridge, Mayor, you might be able to talk more to this. We had a proposal to the county judge's office to install some gates on the bridge. I think it was declined by the county judge's office. We did go forward with ordering some signs, some passable during high water signs, and we are also looking at an additional sign because whenever the bridge is underwater, just for a safety concern for the residents. And then something that we've been working on with all the call outs and the rainfall, the guys are pretty maxed out on off time and call-ins and just having downtime from their jobs. So I've been discussing with some of the members of the department on doing some rescheduling on the weekends to help accommodate some of the off time and overtime that they can work. And that's all I have. If there's any questions.
The county judge, go back to the barricades on Dyke Creek. We had that all in the works. I made a phone call to county office asking if they could at least on the county side of Dyke Creek, if they would take care of the cost of the gate itself and we would install it. Well, within about 24 hours, I got a call from county judge, and she told me that there is a statute that prohibits a barricade, a permanent barricade like that on roads. I don't have the number with me, but she gave me the number of that. So we put that on hold. And that's where we are now. So at least for the time being, we'll compensate that with the signs, hopefully less rain, and then we'll continue with cones and tape to warn people when those low water bridges are being flooded.
Is that something that the county says can't be done, or state?
We looked at the number for the state statute, and it wasn't on there, so it's a county statute, as far as we can tell right now.
How did it block
So we
off?
just didn't move forward. I asked.
The balls,
I asked the guys up here at the metal fabrication just to put that on hold. They have the material list, they have the plans for it, so until we get that cleared one way or another, we just decided we didn't proceed with getting those gates built. It's about $3,000 for 4 gates, and that would be two gates at each place. They swing together in the middle and lock.
Mayor, some of the pushback that we might consider having further discussions on this is the condition of the bridge is such that it won't handle water even on a normal rainfall. A lot of the piping under the bridge is completely blocked by gravel. The county bridge, they need to maintain the bridge. So I'm sure there's going to be some more discussions about needs to maintain, just to prevent even a little rainfall from causing the bridge to be in the water.
Okay. Are there any questions from council on any of this?
I did have one other thing, Mayor. I did have a communication from Billy Amons. He works with the wastewater department there in Fayetteville. He's having some of his representatives come out, meet with us on Monday morning to install some sampling on our effluents. They want to do some sampling over a 3-day period. So I responded to him and let him know that we would meet him out there on Monday morning.
Okay. And that sampling comes before our signatures, well, proceeding with our contract with Fayetteville. That's the purpose of those samplings.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Don?
On the water loss, have we started anything yet?
No. James, have you had any contact with Clay or Troy?
No, I know that there was some analysis done. I spoke briefly with Jerry about infiltration in the system. There was a report that was generated with some dye testing, but I haven't seen the results of that report yet.
No, we're talking about water loss. The investigation of the water system with Rural Water Association.
Oh, okay. No, I have not had any communication with them on that yet.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't have anything else, sir.
Okay. All right, James, thank you. You
Thank you.
you want to stay and listen to the rest of this?
Yes, sir.
You do? Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Chad, you got anything for us? Just take your hand.
Few quick things. I'll make it quick, one like the Chiefs. First, I just wanted to let y'all know that at the end of June, we did wrap up our summer league baseball and softball. Season went off, I think, really well. It was very successful. Didn't have any major problems or anything. We had a really good year. Hosted a couple of end-of-the-year tournaments. Those went well. I will say that 2 West Fork teams won both of those, so I was happy about that all. But it did. It went really well. Now we're moving on to, as far as our sports programs go, we're doing signups now for youth football and cheerleading for the fall, and working on many other things that are in the works here. So that's where we're at on that. And as far as the 4th of July celebration, I included a financial statement, kind of what we spent and what we got donated in the packet also. And we did come out a little bit better this year. We spent a little less, and we did get quite a few more donations. Money-wise, it was about $250, but we also got a lot more product donated this year with the hamburgers and hot dogs. I think the event was very successful. I want to thank all the people that helped, because there was several council members there, park committee members, city workers, citizens. I mean, there was a lot of help went into that. Overall, I think by the end of the night, there was probably about the same many people as last year. We didn't feed as many this year. We had some stuff left over. Some of it we were able to return. Some of it we'll use for future events, so that'll help save us some money there. Hopefully some other way to go with that product. But I think people came late with the weather. We were waiting to see what the weather did, but I think by the end of the night, I think we had as big a crowd as we did last year. And watching also want to thank the fire department and police department over there, pitched in and helped with numerous things, but security and just having a presence there. We had, I think, 5 officers, several fire department people involved, and I think that really cut down a lot of bad stuff that could go on. And they also, I think, helped a lot with security where we did our fallout zone, this year, and also with traffic getting people out of there. So, but it was overall, it was a big success, and it took a lot of people to get it. But I do want to thank all those people and all the people who donated in the businesses also. Any questions or comments on that particular event? Anything
Y'all did a good job.
Thank you. I thought it went great. Our fireworks show, I think, was better than last year.
Yeah,
I thought last year
it was awesome.
Really
It was really good.
But again, I want to thank everybody that was involved. And then the last thing is I do, and the mayor may want to chime in on this also. We're in the final stages of finishing our grant for our Riverside extension. So hopefully we'll start to do some work on there real soon, and maybe we'll be able to get that done by this fall. But
We had a final meeting today with Mike Sprague from the Parks in Little Rock. So we've got really everything in place. We have to do some paperwork right now, contract and budget signed by them and by us. So we're looking at just within the next couple of weeks to have this approved and probably money in hand to start this operation. So a little bit of dry weather will help getting down in there, because that's a pretty wet area, but aside from that, we're looking to the near future to get this project started.
Looking forward to that. Anything through. Any questions, anything? That's all I got. Thank you all.
Chief, Mitch, you got anything for fire department?
Well, just griping is all. We're having too many calls on alcohol and drugs. And a good part of these, we're having to stage back, and that is real time consuming. And part of it is the same people every time. I'm not sure what needs to be done on that. But it's more likely to happen out in the country than it is here in town. But I think everybody's having the same problems. I hear all the fire departments running on these calls where they're unconscious patients and things like that. And I don't know how we get that stopped. We've got a major problem with that. And this, I don't know, we're spending a lot of time on helping other fire departments. It's got to the point where a lot of them don't have as many people in town as we do, like Boston Mountain and smaller fire departments around, and we end up helping them quite a little bit. It takes up lots of time. But I think everything is going as good as we can do. That drug problem and some of that stuff is hurting us, but I don't know how you end that.
Well, that's kind of out of our hands, but
Part of them will die young and we'll get rid of them.
or maybe they'll change. All right. Thank you, Mitch. Christie, anything you want to?
No,
Follow that up, Christie?
No, I don't want to no, I've made some notes on the financials, so if you guys have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them, but other than that, I don't have anything extra.
Council, is there anything on budget stuff that you noted that you need answered? All right. Misty, you have our report for West Fest?
Correct. Everybody has one of these sheets, so if you've got any questions, let me know. But it's going to be, West Fest this year is going to be September the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Vendors set up on Friday from 9 to 3. The starting of events will be at 3 o'clock. At 4:30 p.m., the vendors will be open at 3 o'clock. At 4:30, we're going to have the fire department going to have a chili supper, and they're going to have a guest speaker there, and that'll be located at City Hall. From 7 to 10 on that day, we're going to have, it's still in the works, but some music and some square dancing performers, and that'll be located center stage on Campbell Street. And then Saturday, we're going to have from starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, the vendors will open. The music will start at 9. The parade lineup will be at 9 o'clock. The parade starts at 10 o'clock. At 12 o'clock, we're going to have car and a motorcycle show. The judging will start. 1 o'clock, we're going to have a hot dog eating contest. And at 2 o'clock, we're going to announce the winners of the car and motorcycle show. 6 o'clock p.m. at the West Fork Elementary Cafeteria is our second annual Miss West Fest Beauty Pageant. And from 7 to 10 that night, it's still in the works, but we're gonna all go to the Little Old Opry and get in for free admission and listen to their music and everything. And then Sunday, it starts at 9, the vendors will open up. From 10 to 12, we're gonna have a morning like church service. And then from 12 to 3, we're gonna have gospel music and bluegrass. Okay, we also are going to, the Friends of the Library will also have their Friday Night Follies on that Friday, featuring all local talent. They're working with the school on getting some student involvement to play and perform. And then on Saturday, they're going to have a book reading and a local author there doing book signing. So we have that. And then also I want to mention that you can go on the West Fest Facebook page for information for booth applications, beauty pageant applications, Dutch oven cook-off applications, and these are also available at City Hall where you can pay and fill out the application and turn it right back in. And flyers are up throughout the town. Any questions?
Thank you, Misty. All right, new business. Our prosecuting attorney, Jason Boyeski, who is present with us here tonight, he's requested a new contract with West Fork. You've got all of the information in your packet, including some background information. The last one we had was in 2008, and so we are approaching budget time now, so this is the right time for the council to see this. Jason has put together a request. We did some negotiating on it, he and Christy and I, and so we've kind of come to where it is right now. This does not have to be acted on tonight. It might need to see a little bit more of the in-depth of our budget to see where we are for the city budget, to see where we are there. What's in place here is to, beginning in October, to raise the monthly to $750. The monthly currently is $541, and that's from the 2008 contract. So, starting in October, we go to $750. Then the first of the year in January, go to $900 a month. One of the things that is when there's additional work that needs to be done on appeals, the original contract was $100 per hour. That's remaining the same. And that's about it in a nutshell, isn't it, Jason?
I think for an overview, that's fair. I mean, sorry, as an attorney, I think better on it. Or that's what they taught me. What I tried to put in the packet was, instead of just coming with a hat in my hand like I know is 95% of y'all's time, I tried to present you some numbers inside of there with 2 Excel spreadsheets. I don't know if both made it. If not, I certainly have copies. One that shows the rate that we're at now when we compare to other cities across the county, and that's everybody who doesn't have a full-time staff. So if, other than Fayetteville and Springdale, if you run a district court, their number is inside of it. And so we broke that down by the compensation and then a per case basis, just to try to give you a comparison of workload and dollars at the end of the day. If you look at where we sit now, we're about half of the low end of that. The new number, the 900 number, puts us about in the range. It's not over anybody else. It's in the neighborhood of about average. There's still people above us. In terms of a per case and even a per month breakdown, you still see a higher number. So it seemed like a fair number to fit in with what we do here in West Fork. There's one note on there that the mayor wrote in that I think we both thought was interesting coming into the meeting. That's that currently 3 times a year, it used to be 4, now it's 3, we take on Greenland's case limit. They bring their court to us, and I prosecute those cases. Those are handled by our staff by and large. Certainly the prosecution does it. Their clerk comes over, but Pauletta, as always, is my right and left hand and probably several digits on their feet, helping me out on that stuff. Without her, I can't move. So we handle that stuff now without any compensation that I'm aware of to the city for hosting that event. Whether that's something that needs to be brought up with Greenland might be a topic to discuss with them, but just something that increases the workflow here in comparison to other cities. I'm not aware of another town that picks up that kind of effort, and that would increase the caseload numbers you see even more. The numbers I used are based solely on West Fork cases only. You do Greenland, you probably add another 40 per month. So that'd be another 120 to 160 for those numbers. Those are all there. If anybody has any questions on that, I'm more than happy to answer them. I think my contact information, my email address is on there, and my phone number for my office. If you have questions, I will certainly take your call and answer anything you've got.
Council, anything tonight? We want to put this in the, in the budget process.
I'm gonna vote for it. If we table it, or we can vote for it tonight.
Well, we put this in the budget process. I mean, we are going to have to look at all of the departments across the board. So from what we were paying, this is an increase.
I think it's fair, but I think it needs to go to budget process. A little more so. So we look at everything.
Everybody in agreement there?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. We're going to do that. We'll do that, Jason.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Thanks for y'all's time.
Okay, I do have a question about
Oh.
the Greenland stuff. What are we doing?
Well, this just kind of came to surface. So,
They actually come down here.
Yeah, what happens is, Judge Jones is, of course, the prosecutor for Fayetteville. And if you're prosecuted within a certain window of time in Fayetteville, you can't be judged by the same person who prosecuted. That's a conflict of interest for the judge, so you can't have an impartial trial. He also judges in Greenland. So what comes out of that is we need a time where those people who have been charged in that window, who face Fayetteville charges, and now have West Fork charges, or Greenland charges and West Fork charges, need to see a separate judge. And so we bring down the judge from Springdale. I can still prosecute because I don't prosecute anywhere else. So those people who are, like I said, who've had another spin, they have to be heard sometime. That's what happens. As far as why it ended up here, that I do not know. But that's the kind of cases we're dealing with. There's nothing special to them other than the fact of they've got a hook somewhere else, and this is how we pull that hook out.
And it's his conflict.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we just take care of Greenland since we're sitting in court anyway. Vice versa would also work. I mean, it could go to Greenland. I don't know why West Fork was chosen over Greenland.
We
What's
have
that?
more space.
I now know why West Fork was chosen.
You've seen the hallways
Not by
on
much.
those Tuesday nights when you guys have been to your city council meetings, when it's crammed out here. That's the night that we're doing conflict, when we have Greenland and West Fork both here at the same
That
time.
explains it.
Who judges it? Warren G. Still or someone else doing it, Judge?
It's
Spring.
Judge Harper.
Judge Harper.
Oh, Jeff comes down?
Yeah, he should know.
He and
Because
Judge
y'all are
Jones.
so nice, that's why.
Well, we're not nicer than Jeff. He's the nicest man in the whole world.
Very nice man. Whenever he
I
has a
know.
conflict with anything, then Judge Jones goes and handles his cases for him. They just trade. So there's no compensation for the extra judge. No monetary compensation.
Well, Jason, I appreciate what you do for the city.
Nice. I appreciate it. I've been here for a couple of years. I've certainly enjoyed it. I think, first thing I said when I came here is I hope to see none of you in the room, and I've never seen anybody from the council or the mayor's office in there in business time for me, so I couldn't be more pleased. Yes, exactly. Not on wood. Although since then I have outlasted one chief of police who I got to run off, and thank goodness for it.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
You sure? You gotta look like you have.
No, don't encourage.
That's why you can.
It's always pick on Misty night.
You said you liked it.
You were just smiling. I mean, a receptive audience. Come on,
So, how about that?
Well, we're gonna have to get with, maybe Pauletta can help us through this, maybe the judge, and figure out what's happening. Well, we know what's happening with Grayland, but we need to figure out if we're really supporting them without any compensation, or if there's been some kind of trade-off in here as far as personnel and judges and so on.
Well, Tammy and I trade positions every once in a while.
Yeah.
If she's gone and can't, and needs somebody to cover for her, I've gone down to her court night. She's come up and covered for me here. And again, we don't compensate each other. We just trade.
Would you want Danny to come down here?
Pardon me?
Would you want Danny to come down here every other night or something, or?
Well, they only have court once a month. Well, he can't come down because he's at a city council meeting. That's why
Is
Jason.
it Elkins, that night, or Johnson?
That's why he's not able to come and do it, and that's why we roped Jason into it.
And he didn't kick or scream or anything?
He didn't. He just fell right into the noose very nicely.
Well, I was taking notes when we were having that meeting, and so obviously my notes got put into this packet, which probably before we found out anything, we should have had a clean sheet come through the packet. So we'll get it figured out. All right, Jason, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we are to personnel policies. Okay, sick leave personnel policy change for uniformed employees. You go to the last few pages in that top packet. This is kind of an attempt to bring a little closer together what's happening with uniformed and non-uniform personnel in the city. And so what you're looking at here, anything that's lined through will be eliminated. And then the small print is text that will be added to the policy if this is approved. But when uniformed employees come into employment here, at the beginning they're given 20 sick days at the beginning of the year. They start out with 20 sick days. Our non-uniformed, they go at a day and a quarter for every month, 1.25 days for every month when they start. So at the end of the year, the non-uniformed have 15 days of sick time accumulated. But by state statute, the uniformed personnel start out with 20 days. So that's set. There's nothing we can do about that. We're not trying to change that. And then, so then at the end of that first year, any hours that are not used, any sick leave hours that are not used, sick leave days that are not used, are gone. They're lost that first year. And starting the second year, they get another 20 days. And then from that point on, they can accumulate. So what we're looking at is to accumulate only up to 480 hours. Before this, the amount of accumulated hours was unlimited. So we're trying to put a cap on this. And so if no sick time were taken in 4 years, uniform personnel would top out with 480 hours. And then at that point, at the end of each year, anything up to 15 days of sick leave during that year that's not taken would be paid out at the end of that year. With non-uniformed, where are we, Kristen? With non-uniformed, it's the same thing. So with non-uniformed, at the end of the year, unused sick days are paid out. But non-uniform do not accrue overtime. They get 15 a year. They either use them or they're paid out if they And so there's no accumulation over a period of time with that. Have I muddied that water enough yet? So what we're looking at is to put a cap on uniform, 480 hours, 60 days. And the soonest that could be accrued is in the end of the 4th year for a new employee. They don't take any sick days at all. And that really is the biggest part of this, and the biggest savings that we're going to see. Right now, we've got 3 officers. We've got 3 officers, right, Chief, who are really in their first year of employment. So this regulation will be what they, if this were passed, if this change was made, then these 3 officers would be under this, rather than our old policy. And we can change this by resolution, and we don't have that resolution. You know, we can do this next time, but you know, if there's some more discussion, if there's stuff that you looked at that didn't quite click out of this packet, then I think tonight's the night to kind of get that defined.
I was under the understanding the 60 days was max from the get-go for uniform. Then how come when Chief Nelson retired, how come he only got paid for 60 days?
That's the most you could get paid for
Okay.
upon retirement, but you could accumulate indefinitely.
Okay.
The council allows greater than it can go to 90. You can only be paid for 60 upon death or retirement.
Gotcha.
There's your 60 right there.
Yeah.
You could, go ahead, no, go ahead.
The 15 pay out every year, that would be a local, basically, benefit. That is not provided for in state law. That's a generous benefit you guys have been giving, and one I think well deserved when you're doing the work of certainly a uniformed police officer. But that's a benefit y'all would be giving. You know, we're already giving. That's not something you have to do by state law.
So if they start selling sick leave, are they still going to get paid for the holidays even if they don't work?
The holidays is a separate issue.
Okay.
And that's by state statute.
Yeah.
12 days of vacation is mandatory. Is that right?
Monetary compensation for our 11 days. So
But then, but you've also got state holidays that are mandatory in addition to that vacation.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know about
But they're all built into the pay either in December, November, or
Right.
regular.
Right.
We're paying 9 days out.
9 days.
Holidays.
State mandates.
That's what we've got.
So that'd be 24 days. If they sold 15 days vacation, that'd be somebody paying somebody 24 days at the end of the year.
Yes.
That'd be a big old check.
And so this is, you know, this, like I said, this is an attempt to try to get in line both uniform and non-uniform. Pull that out as best we can, and still deal with the state statutes for uniformed personnel. Are there any other questions on this? This will come back up to in budget, or we'll vote with a resolution to pass this as a policy change. Does anybody want to act on this tonight? No. No? Okay.
Mayor, can I say something? Real
Yes.
quick? And the reason why I'm doing this is trying to get our officers up to the same standard as the other city employees. We don't have this option right now, and other sections do. They have the vacations, they have the holidays that they have off, and they get to cash their sick time in. I'm just trying to make it an even playing field for the rest of us within the city, is what I'm trying to do. So, I mean, you know, you're right, by state statute, we do get the vacations paid. Sometimes we have to work them. I had to work Memorial Day because that's the day that it fell on. It's how our schedules fall sometimes. And doing this with our sick leave, that will put us equal with the non-uniform employees within the city. And that's really all it is.
Well, it depends. If you're scheduled off, then you're kind of a little better, because they don't get 24 days.
That's the luck of the police.
Yeah.
That's the luck of shift work. Regardless if you're working at a refinery or police department or wherever. You try to pick those schedules around vacations. I've done it, around holidays. I've done it in the past. Which days Christmas on? Can I do this? Can I do that? That's the nature of the beast of shift work, you know. So.
Ready to do it too.
Okay. This will go back on the agenda for next month. All right, and this needs to go into.
So the uniform employees have to accumulate 480 before they can sell the 15 yearly, or they get to sell the 15 yearly?
They accumulate it
If
first.
they accumulate first, so everything
480.
accumulates. Yeah.
That's, just
To-
let me say that's hard to do.
So to get up to the 60 days before you sell it back.
I don't know, I could do it pretty easy.
So minimum, the very minimum that would start happening is 4 years. If you took no sick leave at all, you would have the 60 days accumulated in 4 years. And then that stays on the books unless you go over 20 days of sick leave in any given year.
Let me
Christie?
clarify something on that, Charlie. It's actually 5 years because the first year, under state statute, we don't have to give any sick time at all the first year.
Right.
So this change is basically saying that we're going to offer them 15 days the first year. If they use it, they can use it, but they won't get paid for it and it won't accumulate. So they really don't start accumulating their 480 hours until their second year. So really an officer would have to be here 5 years minimum before they would get their 480 hours.
It's 20 days a year, isn't it?
It's 20 days a year beginning on the second year. The
Okay,
state
so-
statute.
So 3 times 20 is 60.
Okay. Sorry.
So by the end of the 4th year?
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
But the first year
Now, wait a
is.
minute, wait a minute.
Yeah,
I
you're
want
correct,
you all
but
to
I
realize
did want to
what
make
happened
sure that
here.
we wanted to.
I got the correct.
You got
This is a first.
I don't have a calculator in front of me, sorry. I don't
But I
have
see
my-
what your point was.
But the
it's
first year
additional
is not part of
year,
the
yeah.
accumulation, is what I was trying to point out, is that they don't accumulate anything the first year at all. So they don't even start accumulating it until the second year, and that's per state statute.
You understood there'd be no math.
Yeah, exactly.
Give it to them. For God's sake, I don't want that job.
We're getting there.
I studied this real hard
Yes.
and got my arms around it. Now that y'all have explained it, I need some more stuff to study it.
Okay. All right. Get caught up with this then. If you have questions, call before we meet again and we'll walk you back through it. Okay? All right, the only other thing I was asked, you have in front of you Small City Economic Leadership and Empowerment Summit. You got a brochure in front of And we were asked by Susan Cooney to pass this information out. This is an in-service for exactly what the title says, leadership and economic empowerment. All of the information is on there. We do have $4,000 a year for in-service. Is that right? Misty's taken advantage of some of this. She's gone to meetings in Little Rock and Hot Springs. And so if you're interested in this, the council members do have room and mileage and registration that can be paid.
I started to see where the heck is Forest City.
Eastern Arkansas.
4+ hours away from here.
Because I was looking at, I mean, I had an idea, but I was just looking to see if a lot of their issues would be the same as, I mean, we're a small town, but agriculture and everything's different.
Yeah.
A lot of the infrastructure would be different, I would think.
There are similar things all around the state. Some of them deal with both urban and rural. Some of them kind of emphasize one or the other. So, you know,
I mean, there's a couple of things that sound interesting that would definitely regional.
okay. Anything else?
Oh, you still have 3
You
and
still
4.
have 2 more things on your agenda.
3 and 4 under new business.
All right.
Lori Marsh.
Lori Marsh, yes. Patty Baker has resigned out of the recycle center. And so we have, Lori Marsh has been helping down there for several months. Has a good handle on it and doing well. So, and she's taken over when Patty has been gone. And so I have hired her to take the place of Patty. Same hourly, about the same hours that's going on. So, and she's in that position now. So.
Number 4 is your budget adjustment for the 2000.
Okay. I don't have that in my packet.
No, it was
you
when
did
you
it
came up
when you
and
came up.
talked. You said you would put it under new business.
He was out of money for we didn't
All
wait.
right. Thank you.
I'm sorry, you had said add it.
Yeah, you did. I put it on mine.
Thank you, Marcia.
Sometimes
All
I
right,
don't know.
I would entertain a motion for budget adjustment for $2,000 into maintenance for the police department.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Misty. Second, Don? Okay. And, all right, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed by like sign? All right, passes. Now, that it? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second? Third, fourth, and done.
But I'm sorry.